Hello, hello. I need a pen. I need to remind myself of something. Zodiac sign, Gemini. Alright. Hopefully that reminds me. Just put a note on my desk. I gotta remember to include something in the video, and I don't want to forget it. Alright guys, what is up? Welcome to this ballin' ass stream, dudes. What's up, dudes? All my obsessive stalkers are in the chat. Just kidding. I'm your obsessive stalker, actually. I sound like Marilyn Manson, that's hilarious. Maybe I do. He seems like a chill dude. James Noonan, right out the gate with $5 says, boom, I'm in. The whole Mr. Nightmare kerfuffle. Very funny. Huh, is that with the, or the guy pretending to be Mr. Nightmare who was in the chat? Or was that something external that I am unaware of? But yeah, you can tell if someone's legit or not because they will have a check mark next to their name, usually, if they're, a bit masquerading as a bigger channel. We're all stalking each other. Cassandra, thank you, thank you. No thanks, Roger, no thanks. I appreciate you asking first, though. It's very kind of you. Weebtoon says, I actually was an obsessive stalker once. I didn't realize it until a friend stopped me. Then I get stalked. Uh-oh. Well, yeah, tonight is stories about stalkers. They're more specifically like the Yandere. Lazy Masquerade kind of made that popular. I do believe most of them sort of originate from Lila, what's up? I do believe they originate from Asian countries. So that's kind of where that gets more specific, I guess. So this is going to be some full-on anime shit. Aaron says, to be honest, I had to stop listening to your stories at night because I had a scary dream along with sleep paralysis. Uh-oh. I'm very sorry to hear that. I remember I was in a bunk bed at a cabin this summer, and I was laying in the top bunk, and everyone was asleep except me. And I could see out into the hall, and I felt very, very spooked. And I thought to myself, why? I actually feel bad that I do this to people, probably. I make them feel scared, and I don't like feeling scared. It makes me feel strange. Not so good. Yandere, specifically Japanese. Yeah, then that's... Yandere, obsessive stalkers that'll stalk you to the end of the earth. I see all the Yanderes in the corner of my eyes at all times. Yandere is a lover who's obsessed to the point of stalking. Okay. Well, yeah, there you go. There's your definition. Oh, Jocelyn. Yeah, I don't know. Kelly says, my ex was a crazy stalker. Kinda mad it took 12 years of dealing with his crazy past before I realized you're not supposed to feel that way in a relationship. Yeah, it can be bad if you get a bad start. but I'm glad you got out of it instead of still dealing with that stuff, and you can help others. Holly, you like being scared? It's weird for me. I feel like the feeling of being scared and finding joy in it is it's like two conflicting feelings within myself. Maybe it's the adrenaline that people enjoy. I do enjoy horror movies and that excitement or tension, but there is a part of me at nighttime when I look at my closet and feel as if though the clothes seem to be representing some sort of outline of a person that I definitely don't feel at ease, for sure. Oh yeah, shit. I was supposed to alert Twitter that I am streaming this mofo right now. Excuse me, Twitter? I've got something to say to you. First up, Goodnight Goosebumps got to 14,000 subs. Congrats to him. That's freaking cool. It's always huge when you get to certain milestones. And then I'll put it on Discord as well. Discord. Alright, so that's up. It's so annoying that Epic Games like opens itself. I mean, I gotta change the settings, but the Epic's game launcher always just opens itself automatically and takes up memory. Left her unopen. How do you deal with a stalker ex, honestly? I don't know. I think you gotta really lay down the law. Make them understand. Otherwise, you're just kind of reinforcing their behavior. I could be wrong, but I'm sure some people who've experienced it probably have better advice than me, but you gotta be as forward as possible, I believe. Venikins with the 2 says, Joel and Perdip, how is yous? Hashtag clapping alien cheeks. Heck yeah. Oh yeah, he's right behind me. He's dreaming about clapping some cheekies right now. I can tell by the way his left ear twitches when I mentioned aliens. Have I gotten scared while reading stories to tell us? I'm scared right now. I'm like afraid to start reading, to be honest. Yeah. Getting in the bathtub to listen. They've made the internet too portable, I know. Soon we'll all be plugged in. Also, if you're just getting here, click that like button, or everybody click that like button, to let YouTubes know that it's Let's Read time, and every single subscriber's got to know about it. Luna says, with my Stalker X, I had to deactivate my Facebook and get a new number. It was worth it, to be honest. Yeah, sometimes you really got to disconnect from social media, because even if you're not a stalker, social media really tempts everyone to sort of be a part-time voyeur, or it's very voyeuristic in the sense that you can just stare at people from a distance and swoon over, you know, their the amazing things in their life. My scariest experience, I don't know, knock on my own head, which is just straight wood. I haven't had too many scary ones, to be honest, which I'm fortunate, very fortunate to have. I've been Solar of Astora with the 2 says, praise the sun. Sometimes when all else fails, you just gotta look up to the sun and shriek at it. And sometimes you gotta praise it for keeping you warm. Or keeping its distance and killing off all the bugs. It is strange, like, when you think about the sun. Like, you kind of understand why people would worship the sun to a relative degree. Not that I think it's really worth anybody's time to worship the sun necessarily, but you can kind of look back on, not really feeling this song, sorry. You look back on, there we go. You look back on certain cultures and you kind of understand where they were coming from. Because, I mean, the sun is just this giant celestial body that is just sort of disconnected high above the earth. When it's there, it keeps things warm. There's a correlation between it, like, helping the land to be fertile to a certain degree. When it goes away, things get cold. I'm not really sure if I'm making sense, but I can kind of understand why people in the past were so obsessed with it. And then when you come to find out what it actually is, this giant, this massive fireball that is literally the size of how many Earths, like how many thousands of Earths is the sort of density of the sun and or the general mass of the sun. It's pretty insane. And imagine if that sun, like, imagine if it's conscious. Like, imagine if that sun is actually able to think things and feel things and ponder its place in the universe. What if the sun is going through the same existential fear that you feel every day, wondering about its purpose, its eventual demise? Oh, see you, Vanessa. You real life beat the brakes off the sun. That's good. Sometimes you gotta just look at the sun and punch it right in the face. Someday I'll beat PewDiePie in subs. I hope so. I hope things take a turn for the virality. That would be interesting, to be that level of internet famous. I don't know how well I'd deal with it, to be honest. Wouldn't be able to answer everybody's messages anymore. Oh yeah. You know what's also good besides the sun? Water. Give thanks for the sun. Give thanks for water. Give thanks for paper towels when you spill the water and the sun's not quick enough to dry it up. Jordan is weird with the 2 Canadian maple syrup dollars. Says, have you heard or watched K through 12? 10 out of 10 would recommend. I have not. Is that an animu? Or what's that about? I've been through kindergarten to 12th grade. Crackheads are literally asking for your PC. Don't give it over. You need it to listen to me, dude. Maybe they just want to listen to the stream. Music Junkie, welcome back with the $5 says, can't wait for some spooky stories. They're my source of nourishment. Yes, I will feed you. I will feed you just like the sun gives us photosynthesis or something. It is interesting how, like, everything works together in the world. Everything just coincidentally works, maybe not necessarily perfectly, because it is sort of relatively chaotic at times, but just to think that, like, the sun exists, and then the plants exist, and the plants do photosynthesis, and then our body, like, absorbs, vitamin D3 through the sun, and we build a lot of, like, our cycles, our sleep cycles around this giant fireball in space. And it's like either everything is, like, hyper simplistic, or it's just, like, so complicated it's almost like by design, you know what I mean? Obviously, that's a pretty large gamut of answers, but it is amazing at times just to see how, there's certain creatures that have just developed to be perfect for their environment. Certain woodpeckers who, their ability to latch on trees and maneuver on trees with ease and reinforce skulls in the back as they pound their face into a tree. I don't know. I like that nature sometimes leaves a lot to imagination. There are many, many grand mysteries on Earth, and the woodpecker is at least number 6. Then we invented smartphones and killed that vitamin D and melatonin cycle. Yeah, I've heard bad things about smartphones and our staring at blue screens, interferes with stuff. You overdose on vitamin D on the reg. Perfect. Make sure you take it with some vitamin K for absorption. K through 12 album was bomb. Okay, that's good. That's good. Bomb diggity. Yeah, the sun drives the weather. There's actually a really interesting channel you guys might find since, there's a lot of talk about the weather lately, and this is just interesting because it's a form of science that I feel like we might actually see presence. I mean, science is driven by a lot of sort of political factors to a certain degree as far as what is accepted within the mainstream, but there's this one channel, it's called Suspicious Observers, and I love those guys because, I mean, time and time again, they are able to demonstrate that based on radioactivity and emissions from suns and solar flares and things of that nature, they can then kind of... Hey, Welks became a full-grown pizza. Welcome. Thank you, Welks. Thank you for being a member of the Buttersaw cult. And Elizabeth Harrington with the $3 says, today is my birthday. That sounded like The Office, kind of. Today is your birthday. Well, happy birthday, Elizabeth. Everybody say happy birthday, Elizabeth. Yeah. But basically, the sort of radioactivity, the emissions that are being shot out of the sun, as faster than the speed of light, with, the amount of mass that's sort of ejected in these coronal mass ejections, are larger than multiple Earths. It would literally cover the Earth in hot radiation and magma, and it's insane, because then as that's plummeting towards Earth, it interacts with our, the sort of protective magnetic field that exists over the Earth, and to a certain degree that radiation can create the northern lights and that kind of thing. And but then it also as it sort of shoots down through the Earth and then interacts with the Earth's crust, it can create effects on the tectonic plates and the geomagnetic activity. And then based on where you are able to observe where these mass ejections come from the sun, you can guesstimate where there's going to be earthquakes and here on Earth. And it's actually insane kind of to see that present on a YouTube channel and the research they're doing there, because it's not necessarily a science that you hear too much about, but it's actually the fact that it's, you're able to replicate it and demonstrate it. It's pretty neat. Sean, what's up, dude? So with perfect timing, I'm about to be peeling potatoes for mashed potatoes and breading pork for dinner while my brother's sleeping in the den in front of the TVs. I was so bored. Thanks, bro. Hey, you're welcome. That sounds actually like a picturesque time right there, to be honest. One of those memories where you just gotta hang on to it while you can, because it's good to have. Alright, this music's getting a little glitchy, so we're going to switch over to Iron Cthulhu Apocalypse, who provides all the background music for my videos. Copyright free if you are a narrator or content creator as well. Yeah, Chris, Solar Winds, dude. Yeah, it's freaking Not so, but so. And then whenever, based on the sun's activity, we can guesstimate, weather patterns here on Earth, whether or not we're going to be going into, whether it's more active or less active. I believe the sun is going to be going into potentially like a, what is that called? Like a solar deafening, or basically, oh man, this song's pretty intense. It's maybe a little too intense. Maybe not. But, you can predict when there's going to be like some sort of the next ice age to a certain degree. Yeah, the unfortunate part about like being into some strange music on Pandora is that sometimes they give you stuff that just isn't necessarily pleasant to the ears. More specifically, like glitch stuff. And I don't know. Some people really like where it hits. Some people really like it when it hits like that sort of excessive experimental melodies, but I'm not super into that. I mean, I've definitely been learning it as time goes along, but just not really into it. But anyways, Stoop Allah says, dude, have you heard of Tenacious D? Dude, I love Tenacious D. Tenacious D is one of my favorite rock bands of all time. I love Jack Black. I love Kyle Gass. And honestly, every time I go to, if I'm ever in the mall and I stumble across Hot Topic or something of that nature, there's a bunch of graphic tees and I see all these bands, all these anime shows and yada yada, and I'm like, I don't think I could bring myself to purchase a single one of these. But there is a part of me that says if Tenacious D was up, presented to me as a graphic tee, I would buy every single design they had, because Tenacious D is the shiz. And honestly, they're like one of the most talented bands, like rock bands I've ever heard. Not wearing pants just came from Taco Bell. Hey, you gotta just let it hang, man. Space science is so mind-blowing. It's also kind of scary. Yeah, it is weird. One thing I've never really understood is, they talked about it in, what the hell is it called? X science movie. But basically just like how time is relative, like your experience of time is relative to where you are in relation to other objects and that kind of thing. So like your experience of time passing on here on Earth is different for someone who is existing at the exact same hypothetical time as you, but for some reason, like, the manner in which time is experienced here on Earth based on some sort of variables is different than that is experienced in a distant star's solar system. You know what I mean? And that's, to me, I believe theoretical, because I think the only way they demonstrated it, and maybe I'm completely wrong, was that they had one rocket that was like high, or a plane that was higher than the other, and the clocks didn't match. Guys, the clocks don't match by a few seconds. Therefore, when you go to Andromeda, it's going to be totally different. And granted, maybe there it is. I don't know any of the phenomena of this universe. I can't explain it. And to a large degree, I don't think the universe owes us an explanation per se. But I get annoyed sometimes whenever theories, the theory of relativity, is discussed in modern sci-fi as being some sort of truth. And then everybody replicates it over and over and over and over and over again in their movies, as if though it's like, solved science. I don't know. But then my thought was, if that's the case, then, because people say like, oh, if you shoot someone at the speed of light, hypothetically, the speed of light away from Earth, they wouldn't have aged or something like that, but you would. And it's like, okay, is there something about our biological mechanisms and cycles, the manner in which our cells replicate, that like it requires light, like light passing through us, like the emission of radiation of light, like passing through us for it to effectively operate, you know what I mean? So there's all these theories and things that people say, and they try to demonstrate it with math, but sometimes I just think they're full of shit. Like, how can you prove any of that? And I hate the fact that people rally around a lot of scientific ideas without actually, they just kind of like feel, oh, the hive mind thinks it, so I must think it too, you know what I mean? Yummy Bells, you are not late. You were just on time. I'm just rambling about stuff no one cares about, so I need to change this song. Like, I love Iron Cthulhu, but this one just, it's kind of abrasive for some reason. Sorry about that. Let's see. Do. Chocolate Rain. Yeah, so I'll just play Chocolate Rain for the next 2 hours. Iron Cthulhu Apocalypse. Here we go. Something a little darker, less scraping on metal plates. And rambling is funny. Yeah, no, I can ramble for quite a while about nothing, and most of the time I feel like it's just I'm talking to myself out loud. Because sometimes you have a conversation and like it's only a matter of time before someone just tells you to shut the F up, and I'm okay with that in real life, because you need to be told that. I think everyone needs to be told that once in a while. But here on the YouTube stream, it can get away from me. All right, guys. So these are Yandere stories. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for being patient. We're going to 7 stories tonight. I think this video is going to be pretty lit. I don't say the word lit too often, but this is going to be litty / titty. My voice isn't that deep, son. Thanks, Father. My name is Bob Coftree. I'm a 54-year-old driving instructor from Lancashire in the UK. Wait, Lancashire? Oh, shit. Ugh, pronouncing anything is just like the most painful bullshit ever. Because I need you guys to step in, and I need someone in chat at all times. Wait, it's pronounced Yandere? Oh. First off, let me see how you say this one.
Lancashire.
Lancashire. Lancashire. Alright, so we're looking in the dictionary. Yandere. Yandere. That would make more sense. So I think it's actually defined here, but does it have a pronunciation? Chiefly Japanese fiction, a fictional character who fits the archetype of being genuinely romantic, loving, kind, merciful, sparing, sweet, and gentle, but at the same time brutal, psychotic, or deranged behavior. Oh boy. Welks with the 2 says stumbles 3 words in, lol. It's true, man. When it comes to pronouncing places, I really don't like effing it up, and because it's just like, especially on live stream here, I feel like I got to get it right, and I should just read these over first so I can know what I'm gonna say. Yandere, okay. Yandere. Okay. We'll say yandere. That sounds. Is it yawn like you're yawning, or yan like you're opening up a can of yans? Oh yeah, the Breaking Bad movie. Lancashire. I'm a 54-year-old driving instructor from Lancashire in the UK. Previously to my career as a driving instructor, I spent many years as part of a training team in the Royal Air Force. My time in the military taught me patience and discipline, which really helped with my transition into the civilian workforce. I'd spent time in conflict zones around the world, sometimes in some pretty harrowing conditions, but nothing prepared me for the ordeal that would turn my entire life upside down. One morning I received a call from a woman who wished to book some driving and theory lessons. Donna Hartley seemed to be a shy but affable young woman with deep red hair and small brown eyes. Her meek manner meant she found the experience rather stressful, but I pride myself on being able to effectively turn such people into confident, competent drivers. Thanks to my tutoring, it took her just 6 weeks to pass both practical and theory tests. Naturally, she was elated, as was I. YANDERE. Give me them yams. Naturally, she was elated, as was I. I've always loved the sense of achievement that comes from having trained or coached someone successfully. It doesn't just mean that you've done your job correctly, but now someone else can advance their own lives thanks to the skills you've taught them. The fact I've always found a way to earn money that way has been one of the blessings in my life. Usually speaking, passing a driving test means the world to someone, especially when they require the transport to further their own careers. This means they usually thank me with more than just the monetary compensation for their lessons. A bottle of wine or whiskey with a sticker ribbon and a little thank you note usually arrives at my home address within a week or two of them earning their license. Donna Hartley told me she was a supervisor for an air conditioning company, and therefore needed to travel a fair bit to attend sales conferences. So, obviously, she was particularly grateful, sending a thank you gift along with a few text messages expressing her gratitude. Now, usually, everyone remains professional, and we go our separate ways. But not Miss Hartley. She continued to send me thank you texts long after lessons and tests were completed, usually something along the lines of, "I'd like to thank you again for helping me pass. Would you like to go for a drink or something to eat?" This was rather flattering, but I'm a happily married man, so I simply opted to politely decline before ignoring any follow-up messages. But the texts didn't stop coming, and each one was more awkward than the last. At one point, she sent me a message that just said, "Part of me wishes I hadn't passed my test because I would have got to spend more time with you." I couldn't bring myself to reply, but the messages kept coming, almost non-stop. And what's more, over time they grew darker and darker. Donna kept texting, calling, and visiting his Donna kept texting, calling, and visiting my Lancashire. Worcestershire shash. Try saying that word. Whoever invented that word of Worcestershire shash sauce? How do you say that word? Worcestershire shash? Lancashire Alright, 1 second. Let me just hear this pronounced. One more again, okay?
Lancashire.
Foolish, let's read. It's pronounced Lancashire. Hey everyone, Lazy Masquerade here for your Yandere stories. This son of a bitch stole my idea. That'd be really funny. Everyone, go to his house. Kick down his door and avenge me. Wankersham from Bravest Warriors. That's a funny name. Alright. Happily married man. At one point she sent me... Yeah, wait. Okay. Donna kept texting, calling, and visiting my Lancashire home. She asked me to meet and hug me. One text read, "I don't want to hurt you, but you can hurt me." When it became evident to her that I was ignoring her messages, she threatened to hurt herself if I didn't reply. and this was the final straw. I immediately contacted the local police and informed them that she was both a threat to me and apparently herself as well. They subsequently visited Donna at home, but when I spoke to one of the officers, they said that Donna had made a counterclaim that she was simply frustrated that her driver instructor was ignoring her. She must have played the part of a poor-treated customer because, from then on, the police seemed content to treat the case as some kind of business disagreement, which obviously was not the case. Frankly, I feel the Lancashire police utterly failed to deal with the situation in a timely manner. Even after they visited Donna at home, her stalking didn't abate. She wasn't just texting at all hours of the day now, she was calling. The calls came mostly at night, so it wasn't an issue just to turn off my phone. But each morning when I switched it on, I dreaded the inevitable barrage of voicemails. There were 15 or 16 sometimes, but I couldn't bear to listen to a single one. Again, I contacted the police, but to my utter disbelief, they actually told me there was nothing they could do. Donna had not made direct contact with me, and therefore it was still down to me to have my mobile carrier block her number. I can't state how terrible it felt to be a grown man, yet to feel that kind of vulnerability. I couldn't sleep at night. I was missing work because I hadn't had any sleep. All I could think was, one evening, I'm just going to get out of the car. She's going to be there. And that'll be it. At one point, I was at home during the weekend, alone, when I began to hear some incredibly loud music from outside in the street. It was irritating, but I just assumed it was teenagers and they'd cleared off after a while. But then my phone buzzed on a countertop with a text message from an unknown number. "Follow the music," it read. Confused, I headed to the front door, wandering out into the street with my phone in hand. There, parked around 50 feet away, was a silver Nissan, blasting some sickly romantic music from open windows. I didn't need to see that streak of red hair in the driver's seat to know who it was. When Donna turned and smiled out of the window at me, I turned and rushed back into my home, locking the doors and windows before calling the police. But yet again, Donna seemed to get away with little more than a warning. A few days later, I was again at home alone when she texted me from yet another unknown number telling me she was outside. She said she wanted to talk, that she'd followed me home, and would keep doing so until I finally gave in and talked to her. She rang my doorbell repeatedly, banging on the door. She then phoned me 8 times while she was outside, ranting and raving about me having the nerve to treat her that way. I phoned the police again, and within a few minutes a police car arrived, and they arrested her on suspicion of harassment. Finally, they had done their bloody job and taken that mad woman away. She was given a suspended prison sentence and a restraining order banning her from going anywhere near my home or making any form of contact with me. I later discovered that Donna had told her psychiatrist that she wanted to hold me hostage, torture me with a knife, before ending me. I went stone cold when I was told. I knew I was right to be afraid. It was a suffocating. It was a suffocating. It was a suffocating. Yeah. A lot of people, like in those cases where the cops don't want to interfere, it's you kind of have to take things into your own hands. Because it might seem as if though not getting the cops or getting the cops involved is always the right case, but life is a little dirty sometimes, and you need to clean things up. It was suffocating. The whole ordeal had a long-lasting impact on me. It completely changed my life. It's changed how I feel about people. It's changed my relationship with my wife. I've had to uproot my entire lifestyle as a way of defending myself against Donna. But the worst thing is that no one really takes you seriously about it, because you're a man dealing with an obsessive woman. There's a kind of locker room culture to it, oh, it's because you're such a stud, you should be flattered to be paid that kind of attention. Some people might think it's harmless, just a woman that's just giving you some attention. It's not, because the attention is unwanted, the attention is unsolicited, and it was never reciprocated. I'm very cautious now, always looking around me when I go outside. I don't feel safe. What will it take for Donna to be jailed? She made my life. She ruined my life and showed me no regard for the first sentence. It makes a farce of the whole justice system. Wait, fuck. It makes a farce of the whole justice system. What a farce. He would stalk me so I could read to you. It was funny, I was with my buddy. He's got 6 kids. Crazy, crazy household, but all the kids are literally, like, amazing. Like, all of them are super smart. They're all really just fun, bubbly personalities, really interesting, which is, maybe I'm just, you know, maybe kids are just way more fun than adults. I don't know. But, like, it was so funny, like, the youngest, well, one of the younger sons, you know, he might have maybe been 5 or something like that. And then I started reading to him in, like, the spooky voice. And just the look on his face, like, whenever my voice went from my talking voice to start talking like this, it was just like, he was, like, breathtaking. He was like, oh my God. And it was, I don't know, it was just really fun to, like, sort of have that kind of effect on a child's immersion into a story. It was pretty cool. Okay. Has anyone seen It Too? Is it worth it? I think it's worth it. If you've seen the first one in theaters, you might as well just finish it out. In theaters in the second one. I also saw Rambo Last Blood, which was, I thought it was pretty good. I mean, like, it was kind of short. The plot was relatively simplistic, but I think it was worth seeing. It, you know, you kind of got what you paid for, but it was only like 89 minutes, so I feel like there wasn't as much killing as I kind of hoped there would be. Because the last one had like the best scene ever, where he's just on a freaking 50 caliber for an entire like 10 minutes straight, maybe even longer than that, just blowing people away like an entire Vietnamese army. It was, or maybe they were like Cambodian, I'm not sure, but it was intense. Hustlers, I've not seen Hustlers. Heard it was, you know, a movie. Is it worth it? It says error. Oh, man. Yeah, I don't know why there's issues people have with streams and stuff like that. I mean, I have the stream settings set to the lowest thing. I don't know if Streamlabs is just dog shit. The Streamlabs OBS or whatever. I mean, it should be good. My name's Jackie. I wound up in Arizona. Oh, you know what? I feel like I missed a donation like a while ago. Did I miss one? I would feel bad if I missed one. Oh, yeah, Janet Dillingham with the 5 says it's pronounced Worcester sauce, like the fat ladies TV cooks from ages past. Oh, okay. Worcester sauce. It's not Worcestershire. Yeah, sorry about that. Thank you so much for the 5. Didn't want to miss your dono. You lost sound for a moment. Okay. Emily, you're falling asleep. Well, then I am doing my job. Also, click that like button before you fall asleep, guys. We can bring more people in to fill in the space and fall asleep on top of you. My name's Jackie. I wound up in Arizona after a road trip from Florida, looking for, I guess, love. I was following the number 33. I used to wake up every day and every night at 3:33. So I kept following the number and I asked, why, self, why? Why am I following the number 33? So I spoke to a psychic and she told me I have the same birth chart as Jesus. So then I said, okay, I'll look up Jesus, who was 33 when he came to be. My left eye axis is 33. Wait, what? My left eye axis is 33? What the fuck does that even mean? This person sounds off their rocky rock. My left eye axis is 33. The location I came from in Miami was 33111, the zip code. I met a guy online. I was looking for my healing angel. The psychic I had met told me I would meet at a healing. What the fuck? The psychic I had met told me I would meet a healing angel. So I was in Utah, Mount Zion, looking for my healing angel. I was at a bar, and I was talking to the bartender about the number 3. So I told him the story of how I came to be in Utah, the story of the number 3. He said, not to say anything, but look behind you. So I look behind me, and there's this giant number 3. I was like, are you my healing angel? And he was like, no, I'm not. And then I was like, okay, but maybe you're the one who's going to lead me to my healing angel. So he said, maybe you should go to Sedona, Arizona, which I had never even heard of. So I look up Sedona, Arizona, and find it's the 33rd most spiritual place on earth. So I cancel my road trip, I cancel my trip to Mount Zion, and I decide to go to Arizona. I had never been there. So Isaac, my healing angel, texted me and he says, have you ever been to Arizona? And I was like, this is really weird, I just decided to go there. So I said, I'm not going to meet him unless God throws it in my face. So we start talking and I'm like, I'm not going to go there. Then he told me that he has the same birthday as me. So I was like, okay, I have to go meet him. Because God told... What the fuck is this person talking about? Like, holy shit. Sorry. It's just confusing. I'm like, what is going on? My healing angel. I'll be all of your healing angels. All of your nether hairs, 33 years old, never manscaped once in your life. Well, that's good to know. You need your healing angel to rip all that out. So I was like, okay, I have to go meet him, because I told God that's what I have to do. So I go meet him. We have the same birthday. Our brothers are both named Jacob and David. Our fathers are both Egyptian Jews from Cairo. We're both vegetarians. And then I find out he does stuff with the Dead Sea. The Dead Sea has 33% salt in it. Walt Disney's club is called Club 33. The reason they're called this is because the location of Atlantis is inside the Earth. The coordinates are 3333. It's the soul of the Earth. A lot of the people have been asking me if I broke into my healing angel's home. I'd rather not talk about those things. I met him using the online dating site Luxy. It's the shallowest website ever where the rich men meet the pretty girls. People said I messaged him some pretty weird stuff, but I'd rather not talk about those things either. People said I texted them 65,000 times. To me, it seemed like more, but I don't deny that. It helped me gain all the information I needed to. Loving him selflessly brought this information because everyone just wants to take. But if you just give and you don't stop giving, even if you don't receive, you all of a sudden receive a lot. We went on 3 dates. I felt like I'd met my soulmate. Everything was just the way it was, and I thought we would just do what everybody else does, and we would just, get married, and everything would be fine. But that's not what happened. People have said that texting him 65,000 times was excessive, but love is an excessive thing. I get why people think I'm a little bit out there, but I'm not a crazy person. I'm the person that discovered love, the equation to light. Einstein discovered that the equation for light is E equals mc squared. To finish that equation, everything we see or touch is made out of light and the composition of the light that it's made of. A lot of people have said that my messages sometimes didn't sound loving, that sometimes they sounded threatening. But when you're finding love, not everything is perfect. This one was a real journey, and I want to apologize because no one could ever be more sorry. I would never have hurt him. I love him. So the rest of the equation is L equals 3.33, L equals 3.33 times E equals MC squared, and that's the equation of eternal love. It means one boy thing and one girl thing. The boy is the light that makes the love work really hard. We as women are supposed to worship the men, and they're supposed to lead us to where we're supposed to go. But instead, we all believe in the number 0. The number 0 is a belief system that the Illuminati created to create the undertaking of all humankind. This is important for me to tell you this because I have to share the message of love, that everybody has to love each other. My healing angel is not a victim. I want him to know that I love him, that if he really wants me to, I'll leave him alone. People ask me about that over and over again, but I tell them they have negative energy and I don't want to talk to them anymore. There's no need to be negative when everyone should just be nice. I only want to be nice. On the dollar bill it says, she refers her undertaking New World Order in Latin, and the pyramid represents slavery while the third eye is the imagination. So everybody is essentially a Jew, and that's what the imagination is. The pyramid is how we were enslaved, so we've been enslaved by money. We enslave each other, a self-perpetuating cycle of enslaving each other and taking from each other and being selfish. In the past, if I've said something bad, I apologize. I want everyone else to be nice. I want all of you to be nice. If Isaac wants me to go to jail, I should be in jail. I appreciate that because I love him and I should know better. He is the light and I am the love. He knows what to do. I don't mind being in jail because I like everything and everyone. If I was released today, I would leave him alone. If he asked me to, I would. But I know I need to go back home and spread the message there too. I wish Isaac had been nicer to me, but he was the meanest person I'd ever met. It's hard that we're soulmates, but he's so mean to me. There's one boy and one girl, one boy thing and one girl thing, and it equals 3.33. Instead of having the number 0, we're supposed to count to 3.3. 1, 2, 3.3. 3.3 is infinity. So if we counted from one boy thing to one girl thing, it would equal forever, just like the universe and all the planets. The police arrested 33-year-old Jack. Shit. Police arrested 33-year-old Jackie 80s last April as she took a bath in the man's home while he was out of the country. She allegedly took her 2 dogs, food, and a bottle of wine with her, along with an 8-inch butcher knife that was found in the front passenger seat of a Mercedes-Benz parked outside the home. Addie's Journey requested a hearing in January to evaluate the woman's mental competency and to determine whether she could assist in her own defense. She was deemed mentally incompetent but restorable last month by 2 of 3 mental health officials. Addie's had pleaded not guilty to charges of stalking and criminal trespassing. Leathers said she could have ended her incarceration. Wait, Leathers? Leathers? Oh. Leathers said she could have ended her incarceration months ago by accepting a plea deal, but that would have imposed a 10-year ban from contacting the man she allegedly barraged with texts. Addie's insists jurors will not only find her not guilty, but they also order that she and her alleged victim get married. What you just read above was her letter from in jail. Well, fuck. That was, yeah, I honestly didn't know where that was going, but that actually turned out, I thought it was just the ramblings of a psycho, and it was, and, but it worked out. That was cool. 4 dislikes on the stream. We must find them, and we must tickle them. We must show them the infinite love of 3.33. Oh, yeah. Jake, you're in a different jurisdiction here. Brother. Brother man. Too much DMT. It is weird. I've known two people in my life that took too much LSD and they went mentally insane. 2 people. It's really sad. It's actually really, really sad. Like, they actually went insane from taking too much LSD. Both of them. Maybe they were predisposed to mental diseases in the past, but I do believe higher dosings of... oh no, we got 7 dislikes. No, guys, no. You're supposed to click the other button. They must have messed up. They must have missed. That's what happened. Everyone missed the like button because I put them into a little bit of a daze. Joe, I've had DMT Rogan. I remember Alex Jones, when he was talking with the Joe Rogan, was just saying about how some of the, cultures like the Mayans, how they like killed just thousands and thousands of people through human sacrifice, and it was just always like it was just part of their culture and that kind of thing, and pools of blood and child sacrifice and all this insanity, like that the leaders, like the sort of spiritual gurus within that community, would essentially consume a lot of hallucinogenics, and for whatever reason their like spiritual guides would lead them usually in the direction of human sacrifice and that kind of thing. So, and they talked about a group of individuals that he knew who all took the same sort of hallucinogen and were around a campfire, and neither of them said it till later when they were all sobered up, but they said that all of them, when they discussed it later, that they all saw a large group of like blue entities sort of approach the surrounding aspects of the fire just where the light was dim enough to see. And I think most of them, because they were on stuff, were relatively freaked out but didn't mention it till later, and the fact that all their stories were kind of correlated. Obviously that's just anecdotal and who knows what to trust or whatever, but it's fun to think about. Jake, hallucinogenic. Oh no, Billy, you're not supposed to tell people that. All right. Your fiance is half Mayan. Well, hey, as long as your firstborn is safe, we're good to go. I don't think they do that anymore. Fairly certain. Correct me if I'm wrong here, sir. Korean sasang. How do you say that? Oh no, another word that I don't know anything about. Oh, maybe it was. Yeah, maybe I mixed up the history there. I don't know. Anyways. I should do ASMR. I do have an ASMR channel. It's if you go to the main page, you can see your fiance's half Saiyan. Dude, that would be sick to be Saiyan, because then you'd just be strong as fudge. Strong as a big pile of peanut butter fudge. If you go to my normal page, you can see the featured channels on the right will be my ASMR channel. And you could check that out if you'd like. There's about 3 or 4 videos. I had to stop because initially I was doing less videos on this channel, but then I started going back to doing 3 videos that were relatively longer, and most of my creative energies were reabsorbed. The Tower of Silence. I've never heard of that. What is that? I do have to look up how to pronounce this word. Sasang. I guess it's Korean or something like that, or... Oh, it's a person. In South Korean culture, a sasang, or a sasang fan, is an obsessive fan who stalks or engages in other behavior constituting an invasion of the privacy of a Korean idol or other public figure. Interesting. I wonder if they have a pronunciation. Your firstborn's still alive and kicking. That's good. Joel does personal ASMR. Maybe that should be like one of my Patreon tiers. Get a personal reading session for 1 hour a month. All right, this doesn't have. Does anybody know how to pronounce this Sasang? Please, anybody.
Sasang.
Oh, Sasang. Sasang. I think that seems about right. Oh, Axeman? Where's Axeman? It says, God damn it, Joel. What did I do this time, Mr. Axeman? You did the Tower of Silence creepypasta on Tat's Top 60 Non-Gaming Creepypastas. Love that one you did along with the Keyhole. Oh, man, yeah, I haven't talked to Tats in years, so that's like bringing me back to when I first started the YouTube. YouTube. Sasang. Okay, it's sang. Thank you, Glum Pops. Oh, you retracted your message. Okay. Succinct? Yes, Jake, it's succinct. Succinct fans. Korean succinct. Okay. We're going to roll with it. Oh, God damn it, Joel's his official greeting. God damn it, Joel, just like my dad. God damn it, Joel. Oh, hi, Dad. Whether or not you're a fan, no one can... Shit. Whether or not you're a fan... What's your guys' favorite K-pop band? Whether or not you're a fan, no one can deny the monumental rise of Korean pop music over the past few years. Modern K-pop culture began with the boy band H.O.T. in 1996, as K-pop grew into a subculture that amassed enormous fandoms of teenagers and young adults. With the advent of online social networking services, K-pop has gained a widespread audience all over the world, but the immense popularity of the genre has given rise to a new kind of obsessive fan, known as a Sasang. The term Sasang comes from the Korean word sa, meaning private, and sang, meaning life, in reference to the fans' intrusion into celebrities' private lives. Sasang fans are often described as being female, aged from 16 to 25, and driven to commit borderline criminal acts in order to gain attention from their favorite celebrities. Examples have included seeking out celebrities at their apartment or house, stealing their personal belongings or information, harassing family members, and even sending their idols inappropriate gifts. Many Sasang fans are motivated by a desire to gain recognition from their idols and stand out from others. Britney Spears, your fave? Hell yeah. Oh baby, baby, I want us to know there's something happening. Axeman says, Joel, read a scary story that involves naked trapeze artists at 3 a.m. on a Sunday during the autumn equinox on a year that ends in an even number. Dude, that's actually my next special, so don't give it away. Dude, don't give it away. Oh. My cat wants out real quick. Be right back. Come here. Come here. You can bark at the moon. Alright. Examples have included seeking out inappropriate gifts. Okay, yeah. Many Sasang fans are motivated by a desire to gain recognition from their idols and stand out from other, lesser fans. One Sasang fan interviewed gave an explanation for this obsessive behavior. I feel like I get to know more about and get closer to the idol I love. If I go to a concert, there are thousands of people attending, so the idol would not know who I am. But if I become Sasang, they will recognize me. If I keep telling them, I am so-and-so, I saw you at that place before, I am so-and-so, they will start to take note of me and ask, did you come again today? To Sasang fans, being recognized by idols is a good thing. This burning desire for individual recognition from their favorite idols has been the root cause of some infamous Sasang acts. Physical assault is one perceived way of being remembered. In 2012, a Sasang fan repeatedly slapped Yu Chun of the boy group JYJ, justifying the assault by claiming that the idol would definitely remember her from then on. Sasangs have also used social media to form a network of contacts to help spread and share information. The Sasang's activity is also extremely competitive. The Sasang who can get the closest. Jake, wouldn't you like to know, you freak? The Sasang who can get the closest to an idol, or who can acquire privileged information that no one else has, gains greater respect among other Sasang for their commitment. It has been noted that Sasang fans will try to get jobs in industries that being them closer either to the... What? That being them closer either to the... It has been noted that Sasang fans will try to get jobs in industries so that they're closer either to their idols or to information concerning them. Sasang target employers such as airlines, phone companies, and credit card distributors. In 2017, Brave Entertainment, home of solo artist Samuel, dismissed 2 staff members for Sasang fan behavior that included following other artists and communicating personal information about Samuel. Is it Samuel? What the fuck? Who the fuck? Samuel? What the fuck? I remember there being a Samuel something. Jesse says, I'm pretty sure I'm failing my med-surg nursing course this semester, but I'm somehow making an A in pharm. Bestow upon me your nursing knowledge. Yeah, for me it's just repetition. Like, I remember we had these like things called guided readings. Basically we just had to read through these stupid things and then answer a bunch of questions in a study guide format. It was a big pain in the ass for the most part, but basically it took me at least 3 times, doing the actual study guide, which was usually like freaking 20 pages long. It was insane. And then afterwards, within a week, you would have a test. It was always like you had a test every freaking week in some nursing class. It was so annoying. And like, I would just repetitiously read through that over and over and over and over again. Well, when I say over and over again, usually it's like it was Sunday night and the test was the next day, and I would read it about 3 times and then kind of just wing it. But that was my pattern. That was how many times I needed to read it to like have it logged in my brain hole. But honestly, I think nursing has a lot of memorization. There's seldom any sort of problem solving other than just the process of deduction if you do, multiple choice or whatever. But I feel your pain, and I bestow upon you the grand knowledge of the wise one. Go forth and be a nurse. For whom the bell tolls, time marches on. In 2017, Brave Entertainment, home of solo artist Samuel. Actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to look up Samuel, artist. Is it Korea? Is his name just Samuel? Am I saying it wrong? Samuel? Samuel? I'm just going to say Samuel, dude. That's a funny name. Samuel Kim Arredondo. I don't know why whenever I see like K-pop artists, they just look like vampire ventriloquist dolls or some sort of like nerdy teenager. I mean, they're good-looking human beings, but it's just like this weird sense of polish to them that seems almost inhuman. Axman says, Joel, as your appointed admin, I admit that I'm tempted to link an image of a goatsy while claiming it's a shirtless picture of you. Just know that I didn't. Now give me money or I will. Extortion! That's funny. Where are you an admin at? Over on here? Or I don't know if you can link pictures here. I think it blocks all links. Uh-oh. Summoning Buffy. Summon Buffy. Yeah, Buffy would know. Buffy the K-pop slayer. Buffy the ventriloquist vampire slayer. In 2017, Brave Entertainment, home of solo artist Samuel. I can't say his name. How the frick? Samuel. Is it just Samuel? I remember there was like an artist like not that long ago. His name was Samwell or some shiz. Mr. Gooley with the 2 says, live streams are my favorite to listen to before bed. Nice, Mr. Gooley. Thank you. Sleep with one eye open. In 2017, Brave Entertainment, home of solo artist Samuel, dismissed 2 staff members for Sasang fan behavior that included following other artists and communicating personal information about Samuel in return for cash from others. Oh, fuck, dude. Sasang. Like saying Samuel Sasang. I can't say that word. I can't say Sasang. I'm broken inside my brain. Oh, Axman says, I have a wrench next to my name. This gives me the power to traumatize your fans. This is true. You can whisper in their ears. I'm going to try that sentence again. Fucking shit. In 2017, Brave Entertainment, home of solo artist Samuel, dismissed 2 staff members for Sasang behavior that included following other artists and communicating personal information about Samuel in return for cash from other Sasang. There are also so-called Sasang taxis. These are cab drivers who offer to drive Sasang fans around, following their idols so their scheduled activities or personal appointments. Such taxis charge an average of $600 a day and will follow an idol or group for the entirety as long as a fan wishes, sometimes exceeding speed limits and breaking other traffic rules. Drivers of such taxis may wait outside venues for customers wishing to follow their idols as they leave whatever venue they've been performing in. Such methods, costly in terms of both time and money, have resulted in Sasang fans missing or dropping out of school, sleeping in internet cafes or turning to selling their bodies to cover the expensive costs of their Sasang-related activities. The Korean media has reported that Sasang fans are often people who begin as regular fans, but go on to obsessively devote their personal and social lives to the quest of standing out, or become closer to an idol or celebrity. The portrayal of such behavior in the media often attaches fear and stigma to selectively represented actions identified as problematic, including the aforementioned acts of missing school and sleeping in internet cafes to meet with idols. Typical media reports of Sasang behavior focus on an instance or instances of socially disruptive fan activity and include criticism from sources including average fans, industry representatives, and other figures whose social standing lends moral weight to the negative coverage. One such case involves a Korean girl who committed acts of fraud by selling exclusive items that she never intended to send. Her reasoning was that she needed the money to continue her obsessive but expensive activities. Fans of K-pop are often quick to point out the differences between regular fandom and behavior said to characterize a Sasang fan. A Sasang fan's identity is often represented in mass and social media using terms that carry negative connotations and express extremes, such as crazed, abnormal, psychotic, or disturbing. Back in November of 2009, a Sasang fan of boy band 2PM posted writing in what appeared to be blood, later confirmed to be menstrual blood, as proof of her completely adulation for the group. I don't know if I said that right. Hey, Dakota Everett with a 5 says, hello crowd, hope all is well. Dakota Everest here, thanks for reading that out. Let's read No Doubt. Channel's great, you and Mr. Nightmare. Thank you, Dakota. Gracias. Wait, I'm going to figure out how to pronounce adulation. I think I said it right, but you never know.
Adulation.
Adulation. Obsequious flattery. Excessive admiration or praise. Okay. Okay. Sweet, dude. Just so you know, Texas girls are the best because we can make pie and never wear pants. That sounds good to me. Down in Texas, we don't wear pants. It's too damn hot, we just make pies. Back in November of 2009, a Sasang fan of boy band 2PM posted writing in what appeared to be blood, later confirmed to be menstrual blood, as proof of her completely adulation for the group. As proof of her complete adulation for the group. This worryingly obsessive behavior toward the celebrity led to criticism of her actions, including from other 2PM fans and the band itself. Just 2 months later, an obsessive fan of MBLAQ's Lee Jun wrote and posted a message written in blood on social media. The message read, "Don't forget me, Lee Chang-sun. I only have you. I love you." She cited the 2PM blood writing incident as impetus and motive for her act, writing in her caption, "What was that 2PM's fan blood writing? Period blood is so gross. I'll show what blood writing is." Not long after, in January 2010, an obsessive fan of the group Wonder Girls reacted very, very badly to the news that the group was on hiatus. She cut her wrist and used her own blood to write, "Please come back, Wonder Girls." She posted the picture of her face half covered by her hand, showed the blood writing and the scar on her wrist. The action of Sasang fans are reported to have a devastating psychological impact. Psychological impact. Axeman, that is very, very true. And you're not supposed to tell anybody that, bro. Victim mentality. The actions of Sasang fans are reported to have a devastating psychological impact on their idols. A young member of the boy band EXO said in an interview that he had developed a victim mentality due to Sasang's, and that it had severely affected his public appearances and activities. In 2016, Hetchel of Super Junior described intense feelings of paranoia and the crippling trauma that the actions of certain Sasang fans had caused him. With the increased use of social media, idols must be more cautious than ever in order to prevent private information from reaching the public, both Sasang and other fans. On the TV show Handsome Boys of the 20th Century, first-generation singers of the band HOT also admitted to paranoid feelings whenever they left their homes. One singer stated that he developed an addiction to video games, as he would stay at home out of fear of being accosted by crowds of fans. It is clear that the culture surrounding K-pop acts It is clear that the culture surrounding K-pop acts is extremely intense, as has always occurred when young women begin to adore a certain celebrity. From Elvis and the Beatles to NSYNC and Justin Bieber, there will always be sections of society who develop dangerous obsessions with revered celebrities. It's weird though because I feel like it's been like turned to 100. Turn that dial up to 111 when it comes to freaking K-pop peeps. I almost feel like it's almost like, oh, we're at 500 people, by the way. Thanks for being here, guys. Click that like button and let's get some more people in here, okay? No, actually, thank you guys for being here. That's pretty baller. It's pretty cash money of you guys. But like this sort of obsession over K-pop idols is so strange to me. And it's weird because I feel like it's almost part of the pop culture to be obsessed. Like they're almost marketed specifically for you to be obsessed with them, or to like sort of prey upon the psychology of younger girls, you know? Which is sad, I guess. I don't know. It's just weird, you know? It's weird that like a pop culture, you would build it not around just like the act itself or the talent or whatever, but more so around the obsessional aspects, you know, to really push the drama to the next level, to 111. Cash money bling bling. I don't know. It's weird. All right, so this person, Genevieve Sabarin. I'm gonna pronounce this wrong. Why can't? Okay, dude, it's so weird. You type in how to pronounce, it takes you to a place. Oh wait, Sabarin, Sabanine. Sabarin sounds fine. Whatever. We'll figure it out. Carl, thanks, dude. That's a cool last name, Googles. Unless that's like an action that you're taking. How don't I have 1 million fans? I don't know. We'll get there. Just time will tell. Lots of teens out there who would spend tons of their parents' money, so it's profitable. Yeah, true. It's strange though sometimes because that's why the YANDERE. The YANDERE. It's the sort of like meme of like an obsessive K-pop fan, and the YANDERE meme, like it's specific, very very hyper specific to that region of the world, and I wonder why that is. It's odd. Billy Amber with the 2 says Joel gets his period blood from me, $20 a pint. Thank you. Well, you just cut down that cost by 2 with your donation, so thank you so much. Axeman says, Joel, I'm about to surpass you in YouTube subscribers. Also, I am better looking than you. Can you not say all the facts all at one time? You hurt my feelings. JK, I'm a fart in the wind compared to yourself. A fart in the wind. I don't know, man. It all comes and goes. Comes and goes. Just like a fart. We're all just a big fart floating in a stardust of farts. Negan, the savior. Thank you. Alec Baldwin Stalker. Mark Durg with the 2 says, you are the best YouTuber. I know, dude. I've been saying that for freaking years and nobody ever believes me. YouTube doesn't listen. I say, listen, YouTube. I've gotten at least 100 times people have said you're the best YouTuber. And I think after you get that comment 100 times, they should fast track you to Jake Paul's house, where you get to pie him in the face, call him a doofus, and then totally collab. I'm collabing with him on a prank. I just pranked him on his own vlog. I don't know what I'm talking about. Anyways, Axeman says, but I am still better looking. This is true, Axeman. I can't fight that, especially when you got that big burly beard. I hope you have that right now. Hey, not all farts stink that bad. You can be a fart that smells good. This is true, but that's usually your own brew that you're whiffing in there. Unless you're into that sort of thing, I don't know. Anybody here sniffing any good farts lately? Alright, so Alec Baldwin's Stalker. Born in 1972 in Quebec, Genevieve Sabarin is an actress who mostly worked on low-budget commercials in her native Canada. But the actress also had smaller roles in movies like Swindle, Eternal, and even Eddie Murphy's Pluto Nash from 2002. But Miss Sabarin is perhaps most famous for something considerably more sinister. Sabarin was a unit publicist for the ill-conceived sci-fi comedy Pluto Nash, starring Eddie Murphy, in which actor Alec Baldwin made an uncredited cameo appearance as the character MZM. The two then attended a private dinner meeting almost a decade later in 2010. Baldwin was working in Montreal, shooting his latest movie, when he was asked by a friend to meet with Miss Sabarin. He claimed that the meeting was simply to give Miss Sabarin career advice, but she later asserted the pair then drove to a nearby hotel where they'd engage in intimate relations. In the aftermath of the so-called business meeting, Miss Sabarin is then alleged to have later bombarded Alec Baldwin with phone calls and emails, in most of which she attempted to urge Baldwin to leave his wife for her, before planning a Caribbean wedding. She turned up at his home unsolicited on multiple occasions, once at his New York City apartment, another at his home in Long Island. She also made a surprise visit to an event Baldwin was part of at the local Lincoln Center in another apparently attempt to communicate with him. She has previously claimed via a lawyer that she was only ever attempting to determine face-to-face whether her amorous... What the fuck? Amorous. It's amorous. Amorous. Showing feeling or relating to sexual desire. Amorous. She has previously claimed via lawyer that she was only ever attempting to determine face-to-face whether her amorous feelings for Mr. Baldwin were shared by him. "I found myself in love with Mr. Baldwin very fast," she said. "He reached my heart in a very deep sense. He promised me the night of my life. He was a charmer." She said the actor also made it explicitly clear that he was in love with her too. "I am naive or stupid, but I don't know, I believed him," she later claimed. "He called me every single day, and as time went on, it became more and more personal," the besotted actress said. "He would call me later and later, and the conversation would go longer and longer." In April 2012, Sabarin was finally arrested for stalking after sending Mr. Baldwin's wife abusive messages via social media. She turned up at Baldwin's apartment in Greenwich Village with her dog and belongings on the day the actor had proposed to his wife, and was quickly apprehended by police after a complaint was filed. Baldwin would go on to describe Sabarin's appearances at his house and a movie screening as like something out of a Hitchcock movie. Her apparently intimate knowledge of his whereabouts must have been highly disturbing. During the trial, Miss Sabarin would repeatedly jeer or heckle Baldwin as he testified before the court. At one point, she shouted out the word liar when he repeatedly denied the pair had been intimate together. Sabarin later shouted that she had proof that they had slept together. Her knowledge of a scar on Baldwin's hip. "You have a scar," she yelled. "Why are you lying about me?" Sabarin also interrupted her own lawyer time and time again as he was fighting for her favor and complained that the press had vilified her. "This is a complete and utter miscarriage of justice," she said. "Everybody has used their force on me. It's ruined my life. I can't even get a job as a waitress now." On the stand, Baldwin said Sabarin had made him fear for his own safety, and that she ruined his proposal to his then-fiancée, Hilaria, a Spanish yoga instructor. While recounting all of this, he said, "I ran to tell my wife not to go near the door because I wasn't sure if she had a gun or a weapon or where we were at this point, and then I called the East Hampton police." At this point, the emotional stress of the proceedings were evidently beginning to have severe effect on Baldwin. While testifying, his eyes began to redden and he began to cry. Again, Sabarin, as if live tweeting from her seat, shouted, "Why is he crying? He has nothing to cry about. He's not the victim here." Baldwin said that on an average day he would get 20, 30, or sometimes 50 voicemails from Sabarin, some featuring her crying, some laughing, with a grand total numbering in the thousands. As Baldwin shared this shocking information with the court, Sabarin reportedly shouted, "No," and "Are you crazy?" until the judge ordered her to be silent. Mr. Baldwin's wife, Hilaria, also took the stand and spoke about her fear of Sabarin, revealing that she had been forced to radically change her yoga teaching schedule after Sabarin confronted her on the street. Hilaria also told the court that Sabarin had tweeted frequently under her handle, "Scarface Madam." Sabarin, according to Baldwin, was reportedly the on-and-off mistress of Scarface producer Martin Bregman. She told the court that Miss Sabarin relentlessly harassed her in increasingly threatening ways, even during her pregnancy. She cited a tweet from Sabarin that stated she hoped Hilaria would have a miscarriage. "This feels like there's nothing we can do to make this stop. I'm terrified of her," she told jurors during an emotional account of the ordeal. At one point, as a direct result of all her interruptions, Genevieve Sabarin was escorted out of the courtroom by her lawyer and bailiffs after the judge threatened to hold her in contempt of court. Tensions remained high for the entire trial. At one point, when Mr. Baldwin left the courtroom, he told a nuisance reporter he recognized, "I hope you choke to death, you miserable scumbag." On the 14th of November 2013, Sabarin was convicted on 5 counts of harassment and sentenced to 210 days in prison. The judge sentenced Sabarin to an extra 30 days imprisonment because she had disrupted the trial proceedings over and over again and thus failed to give due respect to the court. Miss Sabarin cried in court as a Manhattan judge sentenced her to 7 months in prison for stalking Baldwin. Judge Thomas Mandelbaum said Sabarin had engaged in a relentless and escalating campaign of threats that showed an utter lack of respect for the law. The Canadian actress was found guilty of attempting aggravated harassment, attempted contempt of court, and stalking. Sabarin was taken away in handcuffs and told she would be fined $250 should she contact Baldwin or his family over the next 5 years. Axman says, "Joel, you are the link to my Zelda." I saw a meme where, it was, what's his name? Nexpo posted something. He's like, "I'm a huge Zelda fan. For all those who don't know, this is Zelda," pointing to the girl, and this, pointing to the green man, this, he's like, "This is Luigi." I don't know why that made me laugh, but it shouldn't have, because I don't laugh at anything. Chris Arcane ASMR Cartoons, is that you? You're from H2 Delirious live streams, right? Huh. Look at that. A meeting of the minds. Chris, do you make ASMR tapes? If so, what was your latest ASMR video? Crystal, what's up? What up, what up, what up? What up, what up, what up, what up? Joel said he's okay with either pronunciation. Did I pronounce something wrong? I don't even know. Whether it's Joel or Joel, yeah, I don't mind. Whatever you feel comfortable with. Joel or Jewel. Crown Jewel. Victor, thank you, and welcome. Zelda 64 was the shit. Yeah, back in the day, even though I was probably old enough to figure it out, I just could not figure out Zelda. It was such a perplexing game to me. A lot of games back then, I would play them, but I wouldn't know what to do. So I never really progressed in video games, and I didn't really beat video games until I was in middle school or something like that. Which I guess is fine, but I think it was a strange sense of fear to progress in a game. I didn't think I could comprehend it, and I wouldn't even really attempt to comprehend. In Spanish, it's pronounced Joel. Joel. Joel, also known as Les Reed. Emma, it's okay. If you need the sleep, that is gonna be alright. Alright, this one's, sorry, I yelled there. This one's called The Reddit Girl. Should be good. I remember the first time I came across the term yandere. I remember exactly where I was, exactly what I was doing. It was on one of my visits to a seedier part of Reddit that I came across on r Forever Alone Dating, a post from a girl looking for an online companionship. She seemed charming, and the picture she attached proved she was very attractive. I remember how she asked respondents to put the words green bean in their message somewhere just to prove that they read the full post. I don't know, I thought that was cute, so maybe it wasn't the brightest thing I've ever done, but I fired over a message asking if she was interested in getting talking. We talked fairly anonymously at first, which I understood, as the internet can be a weird place sometimes. But the more we talked, the more candid our conversations were, and by the time we revealed to each other just exactly where we lived, we were shocked to find out we both lived in the Northeast. Not only that, but we were only 100 miles or so apart. It was round about then that she began to act a little reticent, being late to reply to messages, generally not seeming as enthusiastic as she has previously. I asked her if anything was wrong or if she wanted to talk about anything, and she replied that she did in fact have something on her mind. She went on to tell me that she was feeling a little anxious because she was starting to like me quite a bit. Honestly, I didn't quite understand what she meant. I was starting to like her a lot too, but I was just happy about it. There were no reservations. She explained when she really likes someone, she could get a little intense. That was the word she used. Intense. When I said that didn't really bother me, she changed her choice of words, switching out intense for obsessive. She told me there was a Japanese term for girls like her. Yandere. I didn't know a thing about Japanese culture. I didn't care about anime or anything like that, so I just figured she was just interested in the culture. I didn't stop to question exactly what the word meant. Now, any self-respecting guy would have walked away right then and there. But let's just say I've never been the most successful with girls, so when I heard obsessive, I just figured she'd be loyal and attentive. Sure, it might grate on me from time to time, but a girl that was obsessed with me would surely never cheat. That had happened to a friend, and it had a serious effect on his mental health and self-esteem. By the time we were organizing our first meetup, we were throwing around the idea of a long-distance relationship, reassuring ourselves that we could see each other on weekends, alternating between her traveling and me traveling. I was a little nervous as I packed up my things for the train ride out to a major city that was roughly halfway between us. Nervous, but excited. I never had a relationship with a girl that had been this consistent. We talked every day and she actually seemed to really like me. I just hoped the chemistry would be the same once we met in person, but to my relief, it was. She was an absolute dream to hang out with. All our little inside jokes and private thoughts hit their mark, just as I hoped they would. However, she did display some pretty unusual behavior. She seemed to find it difficult to maintain eye contact for any prolonged period. Also, when we went out to dinner on the first night, I was initially confused when she apparently refused to interact with anyone but me. When the waitress asked what she'd like to drink, as if it's just shut down. Whoops. So we did confirm that this is pronounced yandere, right? Wait, did we... Sundere? She's just passionate. Did we figure out it was yandere? The guy's voice makes you sleepy. Sorry, I'm just gonna wait. Yandere Dev is losing it as we speak, or rather, as Let's Read is speaking. Huh. That'd be funny if he was here listening. Yandere. Yandere? Oh, fuck, dude. Am I saying it wrong the entire time? Does anyone know if I'm... Sundere. What? Dude, what the fuck? God damn it. If I have to go back and, like, do that, that'd be lame, dog. I guess not terrible. Yadiri. Yadiri? What the fuck are you talking about? Wonder if they got this right on here.
Yandere.
I did it.
Yandere.
Yandere. Haha, can't stop me now, boys and girl. Yandere. Okay, cool. Thanks for the heads up, friends. Also, when we went out to dinner on the first night, I was initially confused when she apparently refused to interact with anyone but me. When the waitress asked what she liked to drink, it's as if she just shut down, staring at the table or occasionally shooting me a look. I actually had to order for her the entire time. She'd tell me what she wanted, but then it'd be down to me to get the attention of a server to ask for that particular thing. I figured it was just because she was shy, which, I don't know, I just found extra cute. It wasn't until after an emotional goodbye that things started to get weird. We'd gotten into the habit of calling each other every night before sleep, but these calls started coming from her in the middle of the day, at times when I was busy. But whenever I tried to explain that I couldn't talk, she'd always get really salty about it, becoming increasingly angry every time I told her I couldn't talk. I was heartbroken when she accused me of being unfaithful. The more I tried to explain that there was no one else but her, the more she accused me of lying. If there's no one else, why can't you take 10 minutes out of your busy day to talk to your girlfriend? She always was a smart girl. She ran rings around me when it came to arguing logic. The longer this went on, the more it grated on me, to the point where I just didn't like her anymore. She wasn't just intense or shit. Nibby, thank you. Yandere. She wasn't just intense or obsessive. She was dangerously paranoid and abusive when she wanted to be. I finally plucked up the courage to call her to break up. Needless to say, she did not take it well. I went no contact almost straight away, blocking her on social media to make the period of separation less hard on us both. It hurt, but I knew it was what she needed. There was no way she'd be able to detach herself from me if we kept trying to be just friends or whatever. A few months later, my parents are away on vacation without me. I didn't mind at all. It gave them some time to themselves while allowing me to live in a gigantic bachelor pad for a fortnight. It was all going fantastic until I awoke one night to find that someone had broken into the house. First thing I did was call 911 from my bedroom before venturing down the stairs with a baseball bat in hand. I had no idea what I was planning to do. Maybe just scare the burglar. But I was absolutely terrified as I crept down the stairs. I expected some huge crackhead or something, but instead of some burly career criminal, the figure I found was small, almost dainty. They turned, and to my horror, I saw it was my ex. In her hand was one of my mom's kitchen knives, the huge stainless steel one that she always kept extra sharp. She told me how good it was to see me again, but stopped when she saw the look in my face, asking me why I was so scared to see her. Apparently, she only had a knife to defend herself against any other girls that were there. But when I told her there were none, she turned the knife on me. Long story short, the cops arrived in time to arrest her before an ambulance took me to the hospital. I needed 153 stitches to wounds on my arms and face. Yes, 153. It took over an hour to get everything sewn up while they gave me a blood transfusion from the lost. Moral of the story: don't meet people you find on the internet. It's that simple. You can never, ever really know someone unless you have talked face to face. At least, that's what I found from hard experience. Holy shit. 153 stitches. How many stabs is that? Holy crap. Hey, Castle Reviews with the 10 buckarones. Thank you, my friend. What are you up to? Reviewing any good castles lately? Chris, that is a very astute observation. I'm glad you said it, because we're all thinking it, my friend. We're all thinking it. Fatal Attraction. Joker Origins. Dude, I can't wait for the Joker movie. I can't wait. I'm so excited. I'm so excited. I don't know why, but it just feels right. It feels like it's going to work. It feels like it's going to be freaking good. And I can't wait. We've got, how many days? How many days until the Joker movie? Not this Friday, but the Friday after that, October 4th. It's going to be litty motherfucking titty, dog. Also, I gotta get some water real quick. I'll be right back. There's a new Kanye West album coming out quite soon also. Kanye West. New, I think it's called Jesus is King. And that comes out... Oh, wow. He only started recording in August. And he busts that out. September 27th. So 3 days. 3 days on Good/Def Jam Records. You guys admitting that you're all perved out. Yandere. 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 Wait, no. Yandere. For now, I just have to I have to hear it one more time. Just one more time, guys.
Yandere.
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 Thank you, Internet Man. Ricky, hello from Chicago. What's poppin'? I was just out there for a wedding. Lila, you made me a beautiful picture. I want to see that. I love it when you guys make fan art. It's just... It feels so nice. You guys care about me. Word's gonna be stuck in your head. Yandere. 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 Alright. The realities of Yandere. I actually met the girl who turned my... Oops. Fuck. Okay, sorry. Oh, Vamp. Pris. My voice helps you put to sleep. You're a truck driver. Uh-oh. Don't fall asleep on the road. I actually met the girl who turned my life upside down twice before she became my stalker. A friend and I had wandered down to a local chain pub on a summer's day to watch the football. To watch the football? A friend and I had wandered down to a local chain pub on a summer's day to watch football. You know, the kind that attracts 30-something singles with cheap cocktail offers while still masquerading as a sports bar. Our team lost, so we stayed an hour or so after full time to drink away the disappointment. That's the first time we met. She recognized me as being on the same dating website as her and so introduced herself. She seemed charming enough, and we enjoyed each other's skewering commentary on the fickleness and desperation of online dating. There was absolutely nothing to give me a clue as to her true character. No 1,000-yard stare, no deranged cackling to tip me off that she was any way mentally unbalanced. We swapped phone numbers and arranged to see each other over drinks the following week. The second time we met was just as delightful as the first. We each found it deeply amusing that we'd invested so much time in Tinder and dating sites only to meet by happenstance in the flesh. She seemed to really like me, which I must confess was as flattering as it was refreshing. We hit it off in a big way, and at the end of the night, I asked if she wanted to come back to my place for coffee. We slept together, and it was incredible. But then, having known me for all of a few hours, she told me that she loved me. It came as sort of a shock, but I laughed it off back then. Only I really shouldn't have. From the moment Glenn Close boiled her first bunny, popular culture has been fascinated with the female stalker. As with most, if not all, cinematic archetypes that become an object of humor. Whoops. As with most, if not all, cinematic archetypes, they become an object of humor. They became funny, adorable, misguided cranks, deluded but charmingly harmless. Women stalking men was such an absurd concept that it didn't take long to become overtly comical. But I have to admit that I haven't found much of the last 3 years particularly amusing, as my stalker ended up comprehensively boiling my inner bunny. Although it was funny in the first few months when she chased me down the street on foot as I cycled home from work, I had fun sharing her voicemails with friends, her whiny, immature tone causing us to crack up. The fact a grown woman could make herself sound like a toddler was genuinely hilarious, but the joke wore very thin very fast. It stopped being funny when she threatened to counter-allege that I had drugged her and assaulted her if I went to the police with a complaint. It also wasn't especially amusing when she did exactly that, then posted extensively on social media detailing the night I apparently abused her. I only found out she did that because she tagged me in the bloody post. My friends list halved. Overnight. My inbox filled with hate and bile-filled messages from total strangers. But the ones that hurt the most were from friends and relatives. I couldn't believe they'd taken the word of someone they'd never met over mine. Even the ones that offered a little comfort implied that if you're guilty, then fair enough, you should be punished. It was like they ignored every word I'd said about being completely innocent of the accusation. Long before the days of #MeToo, it was downright infuriating when I found that, while she immediately got free legal advice and counseling as a result of the nature of her fabrications, I was left to my own devices for 5 long months with the allegations hanging over my head. By the time I was cleared, I was a depressed, borderline alcoholic, insomniac, terrified of his own doorbell. Not very funny. I even had male police officers laugh at her loopy voicemails, only this time, I wasn't laughing like I'd done with my friends. I don't blame them, though. In fact, I get it. Most people in my experience cannot help but find the idea of a man living in fear of an obsessed female stalker faintly amusing. I had one girlfriend, now an ex, tell me that I had to man up, as if I could somehow puff my chest out and produce the magical instant cure to mend a profoundly disturbed woman. As if any forceful action on my part wouldn't up with me and even more As if any forceful action on my part wouldn't end up with me in even more trouble with the police. The reality of being a stalked man is a mixture of grinding tedium, of disturbed sleep, violent nightmares, and isolation. Your first instincts may well be to attempt dialogue with your apparent stalker, but eventually you come to realize that you may as well be trying to bring reason to a small child. Attention is something they crave, so any instance where you actually do acknowledge them, even if it's begging to leave you alone, is seen as a kind of admission that you want to talk or see them. And above all, it becomes apparent that it's down to you to create your own case. So your life becomes one of logging missed calls, taping voicemails, transcribing texts, and having a camera phone ready to record every time you enter the door. Visits to the police station are frequent and time-consuming. Being stalked is a massive pain. One day in the future, I hope to God that I may be able to laugh about it all. But the current reality is that my stalker forced me out of the home I had lived in for 5 years, left me with deep trust and anger issues, and nursing post-traumatic stress disorder, which will only subside as I put time and distance between me and her. And I have to pin my hopes on the notion that when I agreed to her being merely cautioned for harassment on the basis that she agreed never to try to contact me again, she was telling the truth. It feels like I might be asking for a little too much from someone so awfully disturbed. Butter up them socks. Vroom, 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 vroom. What's the sound of socks being buttered? It feels like I might be asking for a little too much from someone so awfully disturbed. This was way back in the summer of 2010, and you might be relieved to hear that I have not heard from nor seen her since. I've received messages telling me how rare it is to read admissions of this kind because everyone else who has tried found the process too upsetting. People have asked if I'm worried that it will provoke her into fresh activity, and that question, I must admit, does make me laugh. Because there is nothing left that she can do to me. Shit. That is scary AF. Well, we're at 600 people! Party people! Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, 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 yeah. Click that like button. Smash that motherfucking like button. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. Smash it. She always brews tea from his socks. Oh my god, that would be so funny, dude. Use my socks as steeping tea. Unless I was referred to somebody else. Have I ever noodled a catfish? I have not. That sounds... Jensen, what's good, brew? Brew? Brouhaha? I've never noodled a catfish. It's not something I would be entirely opposed to, and I admire people who are brave enough to go about it. But I also hear that there's certain aspects of the catfish's inner mouth workings that are razor blade sharp, and you could potentially do a vertical cut down your fucking wrist and die. So, not super interested in that. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm not. But I don't want to noodle your catfish. Number 15. Noodling a catfish is never something... Cutting your wrist while noodling a catfish is not part of the plan. Having a catfish become your yandere. How do you say yandere?
Ray. Yandere.
Yandere. All right, the murder of Andrew Bagby. That doesn't sound like a name from the UK. I don't know what does. Mr. Bagby. Shirley Jane Turner was born on January 28th, 1961. Ever seen the movie Teeth? I've seen it on Netflix. I never actually watched it, but friends have seen it and thought it was pretty funny. If that were true, emo kids would make the catfish their mascots. Oh my god, that should be. That's the way to go out, dude. Go out noodling. If you really need to end it. What am I rolling the R? I'm Rodriguez. Raul. What's his name? Mr. The fuck? Oh, Dr. Disrespect. Raul. Oh, man. Dude, I think streamers on Twitch need to... I'm not saying I'm the most interesting, but I'm kind of coming at this from a bit of a critiquing aspect. But I think streamers on Twitch need to step their game up. Like, they need to say some... They need to be more... They need to be more funny. And a little bit lighthearted. Like... Dude, there's so many people, so many streamers that you go into, and then you see a troll or whatever exist, and they just like, they're so sensitive. They just like lose their shit, or they're like, you're banned. Okay, you're banned. It's like, dude, just let it go, man. People are just, they're being internet people. You can't control the internet. It's the number one worst thing you could ever try and do is control the internet. Because the internet will control you. Yeah, they need to be weird. Weird it up. Time to get weird. Hey. It's time to get weird. Crazy weird. You're a troll that lives under the bridge. You gotta pay the troll's toll. Internet is a control freak. True. Alright, so. Okay. So, there's this story that I'm about to tell you. Okay. Shirley Jane Turner was born on January 28th, 1961. Daughter of an American serviceman and a Canadian woman he'd met while on leave, Turner and her 3 siblings were raised in Wichita, Kansas. Yet after their parents' separation, Turner moved with her mother to her native Newfoundland, where she attained Canadian citizenship. Shirley was a bright student, and after achieving excellent high school grades, enrolled at Memorial University of Newfoundland in St. John's, seeking to embark on a medical career. In early 1999, Shirley Turner began dating a man by the name of Andrew David Bagby, an American medical student in his 3rd year of study at Memorial University. Bagby hailed from California, the son of a British immigrant and a U.S. Navy veteran turned computer engineer. Turner and Bagby must have found themselves with a great deal in No pants party, baby. Kick it off. Drew, what story number? We're actually on story number 7, so this is actually the last story of the night. I'm so sorry if you're arriving late. I wish YouTube would just tell everybody, hey, he's online, go see what's up. And if I get 500,000 people in here at one time, so be it, bro, so be it. Turner and Bagby must have found themselves... Okay. Turner and Bagby must have found themselves with a great deal in common. Their childhoods bearing all the same hallmarks of military brats who constantly moved and therefore struggled with interpersonal relationships in their formative years. In August of the year 2000, Turner moved to Sac City, Iowa, to begin a lucrative new job working for the Trimark Physicians Corporation. Meanwhile, after graduating from Memorial University in May of the same year, Bagby landed a surgical residency in Syracuse, New York. Despite the distance between them, he and Turner initially seemed committed to maintaining a long-distance relationship, with a view to reuniting in the future. According to Turner's own account, she visited Bagby's residence in Syracuse more than 7 times, while he only bothered to visit her once during her time in Sac City. She wrote that this caused her some distress and led her to believe he was becoming disinterested. The following year, Turner obtained a permit to buy a firearm and later purchased a .22 handgun along with ammunition, which she used during subsequent shooting lessons. Around the same time, Turner began displaying increasingly possessive behavior towards Bagby, frequently harassing him over the phone and by email. In October of 2001, Turner broke the news to Bagby that she was 3 months pregnant. Stunned, he agreed to talk with her about the baby during a family event that he was scheduled to attend in nearby Latrobe, PA. During the visit, despite the news of the apparent pregnancy, Bagby and Turner's relationship began to drastically deteriorate. Although Bagby seemed to be open to the idea of starting a family, the couple argued over Bagby's admission that he had been casually seeing another woman. It is believed that around this time, Turner had finished the last of her firearms lessons. Just a month later, Turner visited Bagby in Pennsylvania and confessed that she had been lying about her pregnancy in an effort to trick Bagby into staying in a relationship with her. Furious about this, he immediately drove Turner to the Arnold Palmer Regional Airport and ended the relationship, before sending her back to Iowa on a last-minute book-in. But Turner had a dark past. 3 years before she and Bagby had met, Turner began a relationship with a fellow Canadian who was 13 years younger than her. After the man broke up with Turner and relocated, she plagued him with angry phone calls. Turner then confronted the man in Halifax, and a violent confrontation began. According to police reports, Turner had slapped the man repeatedly before he attempted to defend himself by pushing her away. Turner retaliated by taking off her high-heel shoe and striking the man in the jaw so hard it caused a fracture. Fearing for his life, the man consulted his parents before emigrating to the Midwestern U.S. in an attempt to evade her. But to his horror, Turner followed and found him, leaving threatening voicemails and stalking the man over the following year. Turner began making frequent visits to Pennsylvania, arriving unannounced at the ex-boyfriend's apartment. On more than one occasion, he called on state troopers to convince her to leave, claiming she had threatened his safety. Then, on April 7, 1999, the ex-boyfriend found Turner lying semi-conscious outside of his apartment complex. She had taken an overdose of... what? Do-do-do-do-do. Do-do-do. She took an overdose of pills now. Wait, what? Okay, she had taken an overdose. Oh, no. Oh, no. She took too many. What was she thinking? Okay, here we go. She had taken an overdose of over-the-counter drugs to what would become an attempted... fuck. I can't say the word suicide, or I get in trouble. A botched... let's see. I've looked up a cinnamon... a cinnamon. What's the cinnamon for suicide? Harikari. I guess that would make sense in this case. Self-slaughter. Self-immolation. That sounds way better.
Self-immolation.
Self-immolation, no breathing. Okay. The action of setting fire to oneself, especially as a form of protest. Okay, that's not the same. Self-slaughter sounds fine, I guess. I guess self-slaughter will do. She had taken an overdose of over-the-counter drugs in what became a botched Fuck, I don't even remember what I just read. Self-slaughter. Jeez, my brain can't remember 3 seconds ago. I'm going crazy. Pills, what a rookie. Oh, it's sad. I don't know. Not the best way to go. It actually sounds like the most painful way to go. And then usually end up with having your stomach pumped. You wake up in the hospital and you're very, very embarrassed. I'm not talking from experience, but I know a guy that knew a guy that got it on. Commit unbreath. Unbreathe. Get fired from living. There's like memes about that. She had taken an overdose of over-the-counter drugs in what became a botched self-annihilation attempt. She had taken an overdose of over-the-counter drugs. Turner was wearing a black dress and carried a bouquet of red roses and 2 notes on her person. One was addressed to the man and the other to her psychiatrist. The latter read, "I am not evil, just sick." Turner was rushed to a hospital where her stomach was pumped and she survived. However, the very next day, the ex-boyfriend found a voicemail left by a female caller who said something along the lines of, "We're terribly sorry to inform you that Dr. Turner passed away last night." This was later confirmed to be a faked call from Turner herself. 2.5 years later, Andrew Bagby must have had no idea how much danger he was in. On the 4th of November 2001, Turner made a total of 3 phone calls to Bagby's residence in Latrobe. What they spoke of is unclear, but as... What they spoke of? Self-disposal. Self-recycling. She attempted to cross the Rainbow Bridge. That'd be a good one. It's a bit wordy, don't you think? Oh, it's a bit wordy. What they spoke of is unclear, but at approximately 1 p.m., Turner embarked on a 16-hour, 1,000-mile drive to Pennsylvania, complete with her .22 pistol. In the early hours of the following morning, she confronted Bagby at his residence, located across the street from the medical clinic he was employed by. He later arrived at work in an agitated state and told a colleague of her appearance, but dismissed his advice to not meet with her in private. Bagby subsequently promised to the call that same... What? Bagby subsequently promised... Oh. Bagby subsequently promised to call that same colleague after meeting Turner later that evening, but he never showed up. Turner later drove home and left a message on Bagby's answering machine. The following morning, Bagby was found in a day-use parking lot at Keystone State Park in Derry Township, Pennsylvania. He had been shot 5 times in the face, the chest, and buttocks with .22 bullets. Acting on statements from Bagby's colleagues regarding his meeting with Turner, the Pennsylvania State Police contacted her for questioning. Despite her claim to have been in bed sick on November 5th, cell phone and internet records clearly showed that she had made a cross-country call both to and from Latrobe, accessed eBay and Hotmail from Bagby's home computer, and used his home phone to inform her employees of a brief absence due to sickness. When confronted with this evidence, Turner claimed that she met with Bagby at Keystone State Park, but that he put the gun in his trunk. Turner alternately told her shooting instructor that her gun had been stolen. Investigators interviewed Turner's shooting instructor, who explained that her handgun was faulty and had ejected live rounds during some of her lessons. This was consistent with an unspent round recovered near Bagby's body. Later, a hiker traveling through the park reported seeing Bagby's Toyota Corolla parked next to Turner's own vehicle, just 10 minutes after Bagby made his last phone call to Simpson. The residents later saw the Corolla parked alone the following morning. The lot number on a box of condoms found in Turner's Council Bluffs apartment. What? Turner's Council Bluffs? Turner's Council Bluff? What's a Council Bluff? She banned herself from Discord server for life. Of life. That's funny. The lot number on a box of condoms found in Turner's Council Bluffs apartment matched. Whatever. We're just going to say those words and fuck it, dude. Let's go. The lot number on a box of condoms found in Turner's Council Bluffs apartment matched a box purchased by Bagby and Latrobe on the night of the breakup. Also in Turner's apartment were MapQuest printouts for road directions to Latrobe. Despite the evidence gathered, Turner had fled the country by the time authorities obtained a warrant for her arrest. But to her horror, upon arrival in Canada, she discovered that she was in fact pregnant with Andrew Bagby's child. On Independence Day 2003, Shirley Turner met a young man at a bar in St. John's. The pair dated and were intimate on 2 occasions afterwards. The man broke off the relationship after learning from friends about Turner's connection to Bagby's murder. Turner subsequently made a total of 200 threatening phone calls to the man over the following month. Turner claimed to have gotten pregnant by the man, but no evidence was ever found showing this to be the case. The man contacted the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary. What the fuck? Constabulary? Constabulary? Hello, this is the Constabulary here. Hey, Vamp Priss. That's a cool name. With the 2 buckaroonies. Thank you, Vamp. Vampo. Vampy. We're going on an airplane to heck. Constabulary.
Constabulary.
Oh, constabulary. I'm gonna constabulary you in the face. Just kidding. The man contacted the Royal Newfoundland Constabulary on 3 occasions to complain about Turner's harassment, which violated the terms of her bail and would have been grounds to lose custody of her son Zachary. Because the man did not identify himself and declined to file any criminal complaint against Turner, no investigation was launched by the RNC. When an RNC constable, I don't see that word too often. Constable. When an RNC constable contacted Turner's lawyer about the harassment, Turner denied the allegations. On August 18, 2003, Turner purchased multiple packets of sleeping pills from a St. John's pharmacy. She then drove with Zachary to nearby Conception Bay South, where her farmer Sharma was found. Maya B with the 2 buckos. Thank you, Maya. G-Me, that's okay. No worries. Just happy you were here. We are at 630 people. That's way better than we've done as of recent. I don't know if who knows if we'll ever get back to that. We were at 1,200 that one time. That was off the chain. That was nuts, bro. But perhaps one day. Harassment. Yeah, it's so funny. Like, harassment. Yeah. I know it's pronounced how is it pronounced? Harassment? Harassment. Yeah. But I just like saying harassment because it sounds like something my, I don't know, like an old dad would say. Here, you got in trouble for harassment. Look it up, dude. There's a lot of old men who say harassment. It's pretty funny. Booyah. She then drove with Zachary to nearby Conception Bay South, where her former boyfriend lived. There, Turner parked her car near his house and left photographs of herself and Zachary, as well as a used tampon on the front seat. Police concluded that she was attempting to frame the boyfriend for her impeding homicide. Oh, fuck, dude. Murder-suicide. Grace Forrest, thanks. Appreciate that. Chrysia's got to yeet out of here soon, but just a few more mins. Yeah, I'm almost done. This is like one more paragraph. I just need to figure out how to say the word murder-suicide without feeling completely unconfident about it. I wish there were other words for this, and I wish YouTube didn't didn't absolutely despise adult, like, okay, they despise adult content. It's not family friendly. Oh my god, we've never seen normal television before, which is obviously all family friendly, and fucking Rambo just came out. It's literally like blowing people into bits and like drug cartels and shit, and they're making gazillion dollars, but like, oh, YouTube's gotta be family friendly, and then they just completely demonetize all kids channels. So like, what does YouTube want? What are they looking for? Rook X with a 2 says, are you able to do a German accent? I can kind of do a German accent a little bit, just a tiny wee bit. She then drove with Zachary to near no, that's like Swedish or something, I don't even know. Guten Tag, Klasse. Guten Tag. Alright. Fuck it, dude. We're going for it. Police concluded that she was attempting to frame the boyfriend for the impending murder-suicide. After spiking Zachary's baby formula with Ativan and ingesting it herself, Turner strapped the infant to her chest and jumped off a fishing wharf into the Atlantic Ocean. Both drowned. She had no intention of losing custody to Bagby's parents. It was determined that Zachary Turner was rendered unconscious by the Ativan and did not suffer. Jesus, dude. Some people are just so fucked in the head. Just so messed up in their brain, man. Like, everyone that didn't want to date her, she just got to threaten with death. I mean, that's insane. It's insane. And then she killed her freaking baby, dude. Like, holy crap, that was heavy. But I don't really remember, like, they didn't they catch her for shooting a dude in the head 5 times and attempted to unsubscribe. Don't you even dare, dude. Don't you even dare. Don't you even joke about that, man. It's not funny. Nibby, I wish I had another story for you. Unfortunately, all I have is my outro, but I will give you the restitution, knowing that you can come up with something funny. Say something funny that I'll say at the end of the video. I could say it in the Nigel Thornberry voice, maybe, like, hello, Puppet. Hello, friends. Thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. Whoops. I just posted cringe. Where did I post cringe? I don't even know where cringe is. I don't even know what cringe is, dude. How can I do something cringy when I do not know what it is? Yes, Jake, please do your best to be a clown. Put on a red nose, some white grease paint makeup, and parade around town in some big floppy shoes. How long of stories do I accept? I mean, it doesn't really matter if it's good, but it's best to put them on the subreddit, which is on the screen, and down in the everything you could possibly want is linked down below in the description. reddit.com/r/let'sreadofficial. It sounds like Mr. Howell and Gilligan's Island. Just say poo gas in a super serious theatrical tone. We got poo gas coming up. People are wondering about Area 51, but they should be concerned with poo gas. Any chance I can go back to showing gameplay during my recordings? I remember I got away from it because, like, there was a period of time where people were saying, like, if you're going to do gameplay, you need to have commentary, but it's like, I don't know, dude. It's so confusing. There's all this, like, hearsay that exists on YouTube, and I'll have to talk to the one channel. It was like this one horror gaming channel that would provide me with gameplay, and they were cool with it as long as I like linked their channel or whatever. But I'll have to see what they're up to. Deadleaf Clover with the $10 Rooney says, good night. It's late for this lady. Another fantastic stream. Thank you, Emily. I hope you get some sleep and have a good day. A good day at school. Knifus and Lifus. Do a gaming channel. Yeah, I just don't have time. Like, I don't have time to do like 3 different channels, you know what I mean? I barely have time for this channel. Or like, you know, or when I'm, you know, because I'm streaming with this, and the gaming stuff would, can you come kidnap Pradeep? You can try. Area 51. Yeah, Area 51 did happen, and you guys may have seen a viral video of a, you know, newscaster talking about it while being in Rachel, Nevada, near Area 51 or whatever. And there was a boy or a person, a man, who ran behind the news reporter doing the Naruto run, and it kind of went viral on Reddit for like a day. And it was so funny because it was actually a channel that goes by the name of Elixir. And I actually got to meet... Elixir was always on a lot of Ice Poseidon streams when Ice lived in California. And whenever I went to VidCon, I actually ran into Elixir and talked to him for a little while there and stuff like that. So I thought that was all just like really coincidental. Like, I met him in real life, and then he, you know, was in like a viral video in the back doing the Naruto run. So funny. Naruto! Nare Vekar with a 5 Canadian maple syrup bucks says, my cat wants to talk to your cat. P.S. My donation is in Canadian dollars and I feel cheap. No, I don't feel cheap. The Canadian bucks, I think, might be worth more. I'm not sure. It fluctuates a lot, but I could be completely wrong. But thank you. Either way, seriously, thank you, thank you. Yeah, them kids was just eating Tide Pods last year. K-pop, BTS, Taeyong. Alright, so... Oh, who lives in a pineapple? Wonder is she? Hey friends, thanks for listening. Be sure to subscribe and click that notification bell to be alerted of all future narrations. And if you got a story to be sure... Fuck. I just ended there. Fuck. Yeah, if I did the Naruto run, that would be actually amazing. If you got a story, be sure to submit them to my subreddit, r/Let's Read Official, and give and receive feedback from the community, and maybe even hear your story featured on the next video. And join my Discord to interact with me and other listeners directly. And if you want to support me even more, grab early access to all future narrations for just $1 a month on Patreon, and maybe even pick up some Let's Read merch on Spreadshirt. And check out the Let's Read podcast, where you can hear all these stories in long compilation form and save huge on data, located on both Spotify and Apple Podcasts. Links in the bio. Thanks so much, friends. And fuck. Okay, I need to think of something to say there at the end. Midnight date, is that a euphemism? Look, read between the lines, Jacob. Read between the lines. Yeah. I'm a little ADD with things at times. I sound the same in every outro. I know, it's like, I've got it all down pat. Like, doobie-dabba-doo-da, doobie-dee-ba-da, doobie-dee. Do it in the Chills voice. Thanks so much, friends, and I'll see you again soon. I have to leave that for Jensen, because he's the master, and I don't want to, like, not do it justice. And I do love Chills. Chills is such a nice guy. It's fun to do his voice, I think, just like doing a pirate voice, but, you know, Canadian. Welks with the 2 says, good stream, man. Glad to listen to the whole thing. Yeah, Welks, thanks so much for being here. Thanks for becoming a member, a full-grown pizza. Oh, yeah, that's Jess. That's actually pretty good. Please don't sasang me. Thanks so much, friends. And please, don't sasang me. It's gonna have the opposite effect. Arnold Schwarzenegger voice. Thanks so much, friends, and I'll see you again soon. Thank you so much. It's actually terrible. Thank you. Thank you so much. Number 15. Well, guys, yeah, thank you very much for being here. And, yeah, if you guys want to be kept up to date when new videos are coming out, which they are always coming out Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, EST. But if you want to follow me on Instagram, that's linked down below. Twitter, Instagram's letsread.official. Twitter is Let's Read Creepy. I wish I could have got the same names. It would have been way easier for Yandere. Please don't Yandere me. But yeah, follow me on there. I say some stupid stuff sometimes on Twitter, not as much anymore. But also if you want to like kind of catch me in my normal state, which is a little quieter than this, but still equally as goofy at times, I'll be on Discord quite a bit where we chit chat and kind of debrief about stuff. But this video, oh, I missed a super message. Shit, who did I miss it from? Got Welks. Thank you, Welks. And I got Nure when he wanted to talk to my cat. Thank you. I got Deadleaf Clover. Yeah, I don't know, buddy, which one I missed, but let me know if I did miss one. Dylan is chillin'. Yeah, true. Fan meetups. Well, I went to VidCon this past summer, so we're gonna have to think of somewhere cool to go. I mean, if you guys got ideas for stuff, go to South by Southwest in Texas, or some other cool place or whatever. But yeah, new videos out tomorrow at 7 p.m. EST. I'll get the editing on that. And if you guys are patrons, it's only $1 a month, and you get early access to all the audio, and you can download MP3s from it. They'll get that audio edited here soon and up ASAP. But yeah, guys, thanks so much for being amazing, and I love having fun with you. And I hope you had fun. And yeah, to infinity and beyond. Sexy Gammy, happy birthday.